Now, we used to lead the world with our education system, but today's students have much more on their plate than just the 3 R's. Are we trying to teach our children too much, too quickly?
I want you to try and recall from our reading yesterday.
It's back to the books around Australia. That N-word exam is done.
NAPLAN was really hard. It was really hard because I get really stressed when you're in a time limit.
And not before time.
NAPLAN was really stressful for me. It is kind of hard there, here and there.
Our schools are going through radical changes.
I do believe that we do try to overload kids' brains with too much futuristic work. I do believe that it needs to be back to basics.
Sure, the old stuff is still a problem.
I think the numbers in the classrooms are a little on the high side.
But some of us parents are just struggling a bit with how school has changed from our time and then juggling everything else in this busy world.
I'm finding it quite challenging fitting in household duties, work duties, life duties, and then also supporting my child through the educational expectations.
So is this man our saviour? We don't know him, but we know his name, Gonski.
Maybe there's too much being jammed into the curriculum so that the teachers don't get a chance to really focus on the basics.
Are we outsourcing parenting to schools? So much extra content has crept into the curriculum. Some teachers say it's now verging on impossible to cover every topic and still teach the basic subjects such as English, maths and science. There's road safety, alcohol and drug safety, how to behave online, health and fitness, water safety, CPR and first aid, typing, cyber safety and team building, just to name a few.
I'd ask the question, what are the new basics? I would be interested to see.
Academic Dr Ian Hay has another busy morning, bringing some local school deputy principals up to speed on the skills kids will now need for the jobs of the future.
We know that there are a set of skills for the future, for the jobs we don't know that really exist at this point in time.
I want you to pick one.
In recent times, we've started to see some of those skills.
The new basics of, working together in teams, working on problems jointly in a sense.
Of course, this new stuff will take a little time away from the core subjects.
It is a balancing act, but it's one that we need to engage with. It'll be finished by the end of the year.
In his quarter of a century in education, Mark Riker, principal of Marta Maria Catholic College in Sydney, has seen more and more life skills subjects introduced into the curriculum.
Well, the curriculum is crowded, but we are educating the whole person to go out into the world.
Then we need to do it for 60.
The times they are a-changing. Now our junior schools, senior schools are embracing collaborative learning, open plan classrooms reflecting our modern work environments.
Our children are going into workplaces where that problem solving, the collaboration and working with others and teamwork is so important. So we need to be giving our students the skills and the abilities to be able to do that.
Now you look at a place like Singapore or Hong Kong, they go for hard, matter-of-fact learning.
And none of these modern social subjects that has allowed maths to now be an elective subject here, says former teacher Peter Crawford.
Somebody like myself would never have taught all this business about parental relationships or pushing for refugees or anything like that. I wouldn't have.
And don't get him started on what's gone from his teaching subject, English.
Getting rid of the simple idea of teaching novels and poetry and drama and replacing it with all sorts of shibboleths such as pulp fiction or animation. So kids are sitting there watching Donald Duck cartoons or something. Not Donald Duck, that'd be too sophisticated, but the modern type of cartoons that are popular for months on end.
All of this, he believes, is why our international academic standards are falling. In the past 15 years, Australia's world ranking has slipped from 4th to 16th in reading, 7th to 25th in mathematics, and from 4th to 14th in science.
And it's the same with this Gonski, that he can talk as much as he likes about workstations in schools and every teacher doing something different and a program for every child. That is cloud cuckoo land.
Gonski's second report on how spending should be spent on shifting from the old model to the new is dividing many.
There isn't really any evidence to show that they will actually work.
Dr. Jennifer Buckingham at the Centre for Independent Studies believes Gonski 2 won't solve any short-term slippage in our academic standards.
These are really big ideas for the most part that in some cases will take 5 years before they even get to schools and another 5 years before we start to see any results.
And then she says it's going to cost a fortune.
It will significantly increase the workload of teachers, and it's not at all clear how that's going to be accommodated.
At least one state, New South Wales, has decided it wants to strip back the curriculum and get back to core values.
It's timely to look at ways in which we can simplify and clarify the curriculum.
And that, says New South Wales Education Minister Rob Stokes, includes dumping NAPLAN.
Better ways of doing assessment, which is more about testing the teaching than teaching to the test, which is the trap that we've fallen into currently with NAPLAN.
Which should please a lot of these guys.
I'm not for NAPLAN.
I personally don't really see the point of it.
I got through it, but it was still hard. Now, happy that we don't need to do it now, so yeah.